Hey guys, Dan, I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the nice little pump we had this morning. We are right now at a little bit of a resistance zone. I actually marked this liquidity zone right here a while ago. I actually marked this maybe, I don't know, a week ago on the chart. There was a lot of liquidations at this level right here, and we wicked perfectly into it, and literally like almost to the dollar, which is kind of funny. Yeah, pretty much to like the dollar. We went in there, liquidated those, came back down. There is also, if we kind of like clean up the chart here and go to like the 4 hour here, you can see if you draw some trend lines from back in here through these lines here, you can see we're at some a resistance area here. So we have some resistance from the bottom side drawn through these two wicks down here, and we have some resistance, so we're kind of in this little consolidation zone. Now I have pulled up the liquidation heat map again, and gone through, like if you go through like the 12 hour, we have a little bit below us because we just moved up. There's still a little bit above us. Go to like the 24 hour, you can see we have a decent amount at 90k. So 90k is a high probability. If you want to enter a long, that'd be a good place to go. And if you keep going up on the targets here, 48, there's still some down at about $84,000. And if we go to like the 1 week, you'll see it starts moving up and up and up. So again, 90k and 84k still the biggest here, but start getting to like the 2 week. And you'll see, obviously, because we're coming from higher prices, there'll be liquidity higher the further you go back, right? So that's pretty much how it works. 1 month, again, this will be the very large liquidity areas, is all around 97, 98K. So that's what we got going on there. Go to like a 3 month, what are we looking at here? So I'm assuming this means it's pretty much all above. Yeah, so a lot above. So a lot of liquidity up here. This means a lot of people's liquidations are up there, and market makers often like to take the price into liquidity. So I've kind of put that on the chart here. So white is like the smaller liquidity, yellow is a little bit larger liquidity, and then orange is the the largest liquidity. So this is what we got going on right here. Gives me a nice little map of probable price action. So we could easily see something like coming down into here. Now that we've taken this right here, we could come down in here and then come up into here. We could also come all the way down into here, fake below this, make still a higher low, and then come up, or we could just literally go straight up here and then back down. So there's a lot of different paths we could go here, but if you zoom out and just look at the chart, let me get rid of some of these here. If you just zoom out a while, overall we're down a decent amount, right? So from the top we're down. I don't have the right chart on. There we go. So oh my god, stop it. If we go from here down, you can see we've had about a 36% move down for Bitcoin. So the most probable move is to move up a little bit, at least into this red moving average or bull market support band, this white band of moving averages. Again, I have the indicators. If you want to grab this, just search DHYT free indicator. You can use this highly customizable indicator, especially if you have like some of the smaller trading view packages where you can only have 1 or 2 indicators. That's a good one. So I think we'll move up into this area. We've had the weekly close below the red, talked about it many times. So this usually means that we're going to go into a bear market, but we'll see what happens. Every bull market is different. They seem to always end around the same time. So I don't know. I have a feeling that trend will break sometime, but don't fix it unless it's broken, right? So we'll see what happens here. Altcoins are doing pretty well. They've had a big bump. Obviously, a lot of altcoins are down a lot. Litecoin had a nice little move off this kind of megaphone pattern that I've been tracking for a while. So, Litecoin's kind of moving from the top to the bottom of this. So we could easily see a move up into this bull market support band where we may find some resistance. If we do, we may break down eventually out of this. But if we can get above this right here, we could break up to this upside and then come back to the bull market support band and then move out. That's a possibility. So we'll see what happens here. Now, the stock market has also been doing some very nice things, and we'll look at the US dollar too. So US dollar has been moving down, which has also been helping us, right? So the US dollar has been moving up from about September until, you know, November-ish, late November-ish, and now it's moving back down. It is looking like it wants to break below the bull market support band. So that's good for risk assets because they're all divided by US dollars. Go stock market, and if we could look at SPY, we are pretty much at all-time highs, pretty close. We kind of have a little bit of a, you know, kind of like a resistance we got going on here, but it looks like we pretty much broke out of this one. So it looks like, you know, we're kind of breaking out of that, maybe even possible retest here and then move back up. I do expect the stock market to get to new all-time highs fairly soon. It looks like pre-market we're already up. If you look at the futures, again, we're kind of just really trying to move up here. So that looks good because, you know, when the stock market moves up, usually Bitcoin moves up. Bitcoin ETFs, you know, FBTC looking very similar, but the mining stocks, Bitmine Immersion, this is a, you know, ETH treasury company. A lot of the mining stocks, they're kind of all over, right? So like some of them, like IREN, are down a lot, but IREN's been a huge mover. So we'll see what happens there. It looks like it's kind of trying to go back into resistance, maybe even retest this low here. So maybe we just didn't get low enough and it's going to come down in here. Bitfarms is another one that's kind of bounced off the bull market support band, and we'll see what happened. Pre-market, it's already up a little bit, so that's good. But a lot of the mining stocks are moving back up. They took a really big hit. MSTR, of course, just got annihilated here, and there was so much FUD at the bottom about MicroStrategy going insolvent, and now they have a crazy cash pile to make sure they don't go insolvent, so they can pay their dividends, all of that good stuff. So that's looking good. I don't know what happened to American Bitcoin company. This is what is it, Eric Trump's Bitcoin mining company? I don't know what happened yesterday, but they are down. They were down 38% yesterday on the day, which is insane. I don't know. Maybe it's a good buying opportunity to snag some of that up. I had an awful entry up here with a very small position, so I'm just going to wait till we kind of pump back up, and then I'll close that most likely at a loss. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's what we kind of got going in the stock market and Bitcoin. Let's look at some of the other things like USDT. So USDT, this one, looking like it wants to be top tier for sure, which is good to see. Usually when people pull their money into USDT, that means they're getting out of cryptocurrency. So usually the higher this goes, the dominance of USDT. You can also get USDT plus USDC. I said there was some resistance right in here, and you can see it's almost like it's a little bit more of like a raising resistance pattern. If I can ever click the top of that, something like that. So you can see here that we kind of came up in here and have rejected in this area, and hopefully going to be moving back down. So if we go on the weekly chart, you can kind of see something like that. You can see there's like this big zone here with a lot of resistance and a big zone up in here, and we've kind of just been oscillating between these two areas of like 5% and like 9-ish%. So you know, we're in this area, it's always a good time to buy. When we're down in this area, it's usually a good time to sell. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin dominance does look like it wants to move up a little bit. We are right now at the bull market support band and a moving average. So we could easily get rejected from this area and then move back down into this weekly cycle. We did have a nice move from Bitcoin dominance over the last week. I guess it's only 2%, which I guess that's kind of a lot for Bitcoin dominance. But we could easily now see a rejection in this area and then a move down in here. This weekly cycle, this blue from the Camel Finance Indicator, usually means that it should be pretty much a lower low than this one, but it doesn't always. You can see here's a daily low and a weekly low that's not lower. So we'll see what happens here. But if this keeps on moving back down, it'll be good for altcoins, meaning that they're going to gain a little bit of dominance against Bitcoin. Altcoins have never really had their moment. I mean, I guess the real altcoin season for this year was pretty much... doesn't even really show that much on here, does it? Yeah, about right here. This was pretty much the biggest altcoin season we had right there. This one was decent, but I don't know, not even really, because this one was more on like a dump. But really, the altcoin season where I saw the most amount of greed was pretty much from November to December of last year. So about exactly a year ago. This was pretty much the altcoin season we had. And if you look at like total 3 ES, for example, this kind of shows it a little bit better. But if you go, yeah, you can see it a lot better on this chart, right? So November, right around election time, 2024, total 3 was right about here, and it saw a move of, let me grab my little thing here. We saw about 132% pump. So maybe we're on the verge of seeing something a little bit similar to that. who knows? We're in this kind of falling wedge for total 3. So this is everything besides Bitcoin, ETH, and stable coins. So this one is kind of a good indicator of like most altcoins. And if we can break out of this, which it looks like we're really trying to break out of this right now, we should easily see a move up into this area right here. If not, you know, back up to all-time highs. So if we do see Bitcoin see a nice move up, I think altcoins would do very well. This one's kind of a weird one because, you know, so many people think the 4-year cycle is completely over. Even myself, I've talked about it, and it's, you know, kind of a higher probability. Of course, no one is ever going to be able to tell you if we're for sure going to go to new highs or anything like that. But we'll just keep an eye on Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens, the stock market, etc. I expect basically most of this liquidity to get taken. Maybe there's a short pump to the downside, short dump, sorry, and then a pump when the market opens. We'll see what happens. We do have some data coming out today, right? We have ISM services. Is today the 3rd? I'm sure it is. So ISM services coming up. So that'll be cool. I'll be going on vacation on the end of the week. I'll try to make some updates from my phone, but I won't have my computer obviously with me. And actually my laptop just fully died, so I won't even have a chance to bring my laptop. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There is a bunch of trading bonuses right now if you want to sign up for Bitunix. So we have a promotion running for all of December. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. They have great fees, especially if you use my affiliate link below. Doesn't cost you anything, helps out the channel a lot, and it actually reduces your fees a lot. And you can get some first-time deposit bonuses for making a new account. It's really fast. You can do no KYC if you want. You can sign up with just an email and password, and one of my favorite exchanges. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.